Hi there, and welcome to Game Dev U's Learn to Make Your First Game. My name's Nick Baldwin, and I'm going to be your coach and facilitator here, teaching you how to make games. And I wanted to take a quick second to congratulate you. You know, so many gamers love to play games and dream of one day making a game, but they're unwilling to do the work that it actually takes to learn to do it. And so you, by taking part in this course and actually taking those steps, are doing something that so many dreamers are unwilling to do, and that's unfortunately what keeps them as dreamers instead of as doers. So I congratulate you for being a doer, and I'm really happy to be the one who gets to teach you this because it's life transforming. If you're a gamer and you've always loved retro and indie games and love to play games, the ability to make one is just this immersive, amazing art form, and I can't wait to share it with you. It can also be a very profitable business opportunity. Knowing how to make games, you can build a work-at-home income so that you don't have to have a job, and that's really cool because then you get to play more games. So no matter where you're starting and what your goals are with game development, my job is to make you as good as possible, as fast as possible. Now, with that, there actually comes a little bit of a warning that I have for you. I run a couple of game development clubs and groups and that sort of thing, and I see this very often. I've got almost 200 people in my organization that are all game developers, and this is every time we have meetings, I see people who are ready to, bring people into a group project, and basically I call it poaching. It's where someone tries to get you to do work for free. People come into the group and they try to poach people and get them to be their free developer on their group project and that sort of thing. The reason I'm giving you this warning is that after you go through the Game Dev U curriculum that you're going to be learning, and this is the first piece of all of the content that you'll be learning is how to make your first game. As you move through all the courses that we have at Game Dev U, you're going to become very good at making games. And when you're good at making games, you actually are valuable. I mean, worth money. Your skills will be monetizable. And people are going to try to get you to work for free, frankly. And especially because you're learning in an online course kind of format, your awareness of how much money your skills are actually worth might not be accurate to what they're actually worth. You might not know how much money you're actually worth and what your skills are worth. So never underestimate yourself. In the words of the Joker from the newer Batman movies, if you're good at what you do, don't do it for free. So don't underestimate yourself. Just because this is an online course doesn't mean I'm not going to help you become seriously skilled at making games, because that's what I'm here for, and that's what this course is all about. Now, in this first course, we're not going to be making Quake 3D or anything. We're just making a couple quick demo games so that you can get the feel for Game Maker Studio and understanding of the workflow, and learn a little bit about the building blocks of games. What are objects? What are instances? A little bit of that. We're just going to go a little bit into code writing as well, so that you'll be familiar with writing some code here and there. This isn't an in-depth programming course of sorts, and as we go through the Game Dev U content, in further courses, you will be learning all about coding and about development. So even if you don't come from a programming background, that's okay. The way that everything is set up is so that you learn it while you're doing. I don't ever want you to have to spend 3 hours memorizing formulas and how to do this and that. It should never feel like you're studying. This is a course that's meant to be fun. And we're learning something very cool, and I want it to just be an easy and intuitive process for you. I taught myself to code actually by just reading and writing code, so I never went to school or learned it in a hyper-academic kind of way. Matter of fact, I'm a college dropout who taught myself how to code, and it's been my living ever since then. I've been full-time working at home as a developer since I was 21. And so my way of understanding code and my way of teaching code is very intuitive. Like, here's what this does, and here's how you can use it. I'm never going to actually take an academic approach with you, and I think that I've gotten a lot of feedback about that, about people like that approach, that this is not going to feel like a classroom, that we're just going through things. So as you go through each lesson, each video, each lecture is split up to be just a few minutes each, between 2 and 7 minutes ideally. And the reason that I made it like this is because I don't want you to just, every time that I do something where you pause and then do it yourself and then come back and push play, so you're pause, play. Each section is a little bite-sized chunk for you to just watch, and instead of trying to memorize what happens, try to understand what's going on so that you can watch the whole thing through and then go to your computer and do everything that we just did in that video. So that each little bite-sized chunk, it starts off being very easy things to where you can understand pretty quickly what to do. And as we progress, it becomes based upon your understanding of the previous segments and so forth. So again, as we go through each segment, watch the whole thing before you close the video window and then go over and do it on your own computer. That way you can actually be building these skills rather than just following along with a video. There's nothing worse than going through a whole tutorial series and all you actually ended up doing was following along with the video instead of absorbing the skills yourself. So for each video, watch the video all the way through, then stop, go ahead and do it yourself, and then you'll have actually built the skills into your own repertoire. So without any further ado, we're going to go into talking a little bit about copyright, and then we'll be right into starting our first game making exercise. So I'll see you in the next video.